better do it!
Welcome back to this long-awaited challenge. I have deleted the save file for months ago by complete accident, and so I had to redo the whole game basically to get back to where I was. Hence why I'm level 105. Um, Otherwise, I literally just I beat the curl after you get Ramu's power, and that's pretty much where we left off. But I figured the first thing we chose this, like the very first airman hunt. Um, and honestly, I gotta say, now that I've like gotten back into the game comfortably after like doing the Echoes of the Fallen, I'm a lot more, well, not like confident. I feel like I actually like paying attention to what I'm doing, because before I just attack and go and stuff. But there are fights later that they get kind of close, and you know I find it's interesting if I was like in the fight we had with the Midnight Guard Dragoon guy from the other level, that gave me a hard time. Um, like that, if I did that challenge months ago, I'd still be struggling with the game. I feel, which is weird. I don't know. It's weird coming back to this one actually. Anyway, about this fight, it's not too special. It is the first hunt after all. Um, I will say, at least as of now, Rondu's power isn't that useful. It requires you to basically be standing completely still to use or enact justice, I think is what it's called. And it does some good stagger damage, I think, but it's not like great, especially like not leveled at all. So unless it's against like a bigger enemy, which you'll see later, it's really not that good. So I never really use it, and if I do use it, it's a complete accident. Probably because I forgot to switch icon power, and then I just pressed L2, and then, well, that happens. But now we're about to finish this guy off, and that's that one. That's that. So, as I said before, I am doing the Chocobo quest just for me. Technically, obviously, you don't need this, but to go like back and forth between areas on foot, I just figured it'd be much faster if I just get the Chocobo. So here I can like use it and then run away from the majority of the fights, because in this, especially like now in this challenge, I don't need to fight anything unless it's like an encounter I have to get through. So everything in between, I'm just going to be running past. So if I get a Chocobo, it just makes it a little faster for me, even if I don't need it. That's pretty much the only side quest I'm going out of my way to actually do, because there's nothing else that actually demands my attention. Now, with the release of the DLC, I'm debating whether or not to actually do those side quests. Um, they're not that it's hard, but there is a couple of quests I have to do. I'm not like against it or anything, but I'm just kind of thinking about it still. Um, and by the time, well, obviously when this video comes out, the second DLC isn't out yet, but that too will also probably require a couple of quests that need to be done before it can even be accessed. So I'm not sure how that's going to go yet. It's not out right, so um, for now I'm just going to hold off on that until after the game's beaten, I guess. And I think it'd be pretty fitting for the last boss to be Omega anyway. Um, but as for this fight, it's just a bunch of like bandits and stuff. I have been trying to use Limit Break more often during stagger periods to like increase my damage a bit. Because honestly, I think the worst thing, besides not being able to like move the way I want, like lunging or dodging out of the way, recovering, is just damage is pretty bad with Invictus. Um, Now, because I haven't really gotten much input, I'm just kind of like thinking whether or not to even like restrict accessories as well. I do use them later. I have the Chocobo unlocked now, which is great. But I do slap on accessories just to spice things up a little bit, because having like no accessories at all, obviously you don't need to, as the challenge says, but it just makes life a little easier, you know? Um, like just a quick cooldown buff or a slight damage boost that you get for New Game Plus, like things like that, right? Like nothing too big. And the fight here at the bridge with all the Imperial stuff is nothing too special. I will say I got a little sloppy, obviously, as you can see from my health. I'm not exactly doing too hot, but it could be better. If you remember correctly, I'm trying to avoid using items when possible. The only time I actually use them is when a boss restores their health bar themselves, like a new phase essentially, and then their health bar goes back to full. Then I'll probably use mine. Otherwise, I'm just gonna die anyway and just have to restart the thing. So there is in this especially run, I did try going through the game, like the bosses and such, in one go, and if I die, I'd restart from the last save. Unfortunately, I do make a boo boo. Especially like the next boss, I think, where I did this, and my last save was at the beginning of the level, so I had to restart the level essentially, which was about an hour's worth of me running around from point A to point B. So yeah, that went really well. But as you can see, this fight, it would be an example where I would heal, but I actually really wanted to try fighting this guy with what I had, obviously. And honestly, I'm just gonna let it play out. It's pretty much a very similar boss fight to the one earlier, except he doesn't use that Mirage jump gimmick, I suppose. So, yeah, enjoy. So yeah, like I said, I've been cutting boss fights a little close. And I think this was the boss that actually made me restart the beginning, like the whole level after dying. So I was a bit more careful this run through, but yeah, it's proved to be quite a challenge to say the least, especially when you're limited for time. But I dealt with it for sure. Um, anyway, the air like most enemy encounters, especially the ones that are forced, are terrible. There are enemies obviously like this that have like stagger meters and stuff. Um, they're not terrible. It's just more time consuming because, like I said, like the honestly, like everything I'm doing is fine. It's just my damage kind of sucks, right? If I had another weapon, for example, I'd be doing like double the damage. Even some of the icon abilities, if those were upgraded, well, we're doing a lot more damage as well, right? So.
Ugh, look at this place. What a mess.
Wait.
It's turned.
Nothing a shelter for Zarya can't handle. Just like old times.
So, This is technically the same boss as what you fight like in the prologue that I technically skipped this playthrough. um, Except now you actually have like abilities to stay in the air. So Garuda honestly is probably one of the best icons to use, just because of like the mobility you get out of it. I can pretty much dodge most of his ground attacks with just Garuda grappling, which launches Clive in the air without having to use like the enemy stomp ability. So that's pretty good. Gouge is also pretty good stagger damage. Honestly, like I know there's gonna be, I might try different combinations later in the game once I unlock more, but I think Garuda might be one of the ones I keep, solely because it just gives me a lot of mobility. Same thing with Phoenix. I can actually like lunge the things and whatnot. I've been trying to combo like Phoenix Garuda together, and a lot of times I pull it off, especially like not when I'm in the fights I might be showing. Of course, like these are like fights, like mob fights that are not like interesting to watch, but just me trying to practice, right? But with Wicked Wheel and Gouge, I can honestly just keep in the air and not even have to worry about the most of his attacks. His tentacles do become a bit of an issue, but it's honestly nothing to write home about. This boss is pretty simple and pretty straightforward. The only reason why I died is because I walked into this boss fight with no HP, and his bad breath attack does a deceivably large amount of damage if you stay in it too long. So that was my bad.
Press on.
Yes.
One of the demons. But they never leave the lava.
If I didn't know better, I think this volcano was about to erupt.
So there is a bit of a trend I've noticed in the last couple of fights. They are kind of like copy paste from earlier in the game. They just are bigger, do more damage, or have a new ability that makes them different, which is cool. But it's pretty much like the same fight we had with Sid. Well, when Sid was with us anyway, except now there's fire. I mean, breeze fire. So this fight actually I think was also pretty close. He does a deceptively large amount of damage to you, especially when you're not paying attention fully. I think at this point, yeah, I actually utilize Rama here a lot more, mainly because on accident I figured out that like when you lock on, it just locates multiple parts of his body, which I guess all of hitboxes or something, which is why you can lock on multiple times. So it's almost like an instantaneous like 6 level enact justice kind of thing. I tried using it a bit because it does some damage, but for the most part, I think I got a little like overzealous with it at some point, which made me eat a lot of damage. So it's still not that good, which kind of sucks because I like lightning and stuff. But it is what it is. I am going to be skipping a major portion of this fight because it's just me slowly whittling him away with this. Yeah, this fight took me 10 minutes, I think. 10, 15 minutes. It took a while to. Like, in his next phase, I played so passively because I really did not want to restart this whole fight because this fight went on for a while. this fight took me a long time to actually get through in one go. I died a lot this fight. It gave me a really hard time. He likes warping around, flying around in the later phases, and he just dishes out so much damage. It is so unreal. Even in this first phase was pretty sloppy in this one attempt. Normally I'd show off me dying, but then we'd be here all day watching me die, because it took me a while. The last fight, for the demon, like, fire salamander guy, that took, like, 20 minutes or something. This took me, like, half hour-ish, probably a little longer. I don't quite remember anymore, actually. Like, I pretty much, like, I already clipped these up when I finished this fight a few weeks ago. This is me commentating over it now, a few weeks later. And I just remember, like, me spending hours actually trying to, like, figure out what the hell I'm doing. But this one attempt just took me an actual half hour to do. Like, it was so slow. And my dumbass as well made the funny joke, the funny idea to forget to hit record, like, right after, that, like, the next cutscene coming up. So I lost a bit of fucking footage, which is really annoying. So I tried my best to see what I could do without having to restart the fight. But, you know, it is what it is. So yeah, I think this is why it just took me so long to fucking edit. I remember why now. It's this shit here. For the most part, like, I had to use, like, Phoenix and Garuda together to hit him in the air and try to avoid half his, like, AoE attacks, because that is what was actually killing me constantly. So, that's all I got. Next video will be, on this game anyway, will be, like, Titan and onward, at least for a bit. In this bit here, this is after I beat Titan, spoilers. I decided to try out the Berserker Ring as an accessory, because as I've said, I wanted to try using something a little different. And I figured maybe try something fun, the Berserker Ring, which you get for completing those, like, when you complete some side quests, you get renown and such, and that's one of the rewards, is the Berserker Ring. I figured why not give it a shot, you know, if people like it, or whatever, I might keep using it. I might try it for a bit, just to see, because it does boost damage a bit, and it makes you semi-primed, sort of. Yeah, I don't think you have, like, those, like, I don't think you're unkillable in that state, unless I actually activate it, but I really wanted to just give it a shot, so that's why I'm in a training mode right now, just to give it a shot, you know. Instead of me just dodging and retaliating with the same thing, maybe, you know, spice it up a bit. I can only do persistent dodges for so long before it's like, ugh. Especially when you don't have maxed out precision dodge, or the magic burst. Since I can't charge magic, it doesn't do as much damage. But, you know, I want to try different accessories and such, just to make the game just a bit more interesting, you know, obviously when I unlock them. And here I was testing Titan basically for the first time as well. This is just basically a sneak peek of the next video, because I don't know when that's going to come out yet. But Titan basically works as a big-ass, like, counter guard and then deal a bunch of damage, which could be really nice. I'm not sure how that's gonna go yet, especially with the Berserker ring. Why should I dodge if I'm using Titan? So I'm still gonna figure that out, but you know, Titan can do a lot of damage, at least for, you know, whenever it recharges. It does take a minute. In the training mode, I have it basically off, like no cooldowns. But yeah, I just wanted to show it off a bit in the background while I just talk a bit. So I don't know when I'm gonna at least get around to editing the next part. It is getting worked on slowly. I am playing through the game slowly. I'm just kind of like, you know, on that time crunch. Not sure how much time I got, so I'm not too, like, you know, I'm not gonna go too hard into it like I was before. I am busy, unfortunately. But you know, I figured I'd throw this together because this has been done. Essentially, this whole video has been done for a while. It's just me, the commentating I had to do. And I felt kind of bad last time when I uploaded a part like this. I didn't have any commentary at all. And, like, initially when I was uploading it at the time, it's like, yeah, well, that should be okay. But then when I watch it over again, it's like, you know what, maybe I should have just cut out this, or, you know, maybe I should have just trimmed that just to make it more watchable. But, you know, it's still up there. So I'm not proud of the video per se, but, you know, it shows off what I do, right? So I'm gonna try to actually make that effort, because I think everyone deserves that. You know, just to hear my thoughts at least on how boss fights went and such. Even if I'm not like too insightful to what I do, you know, like one thing I really wish, I mean, it might be kind of annoying. As you can see, like on the right side of the screen there, you can see what buttons I'm pressing and what direction and whatever, like with my analog sticks. I think that would be pretty cool if that was actually in the game, so everyone can like see what the hell I'm pressing, because sometimes I misclick buttons or whatever. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty much all for this video. I'll catch you all another time, and just let me know if you want to see more. There'll at least be another one. So I'll see you guys later.